From God's Heart to Mine to Yours by E.P. Shotgut, narrated by Jamal West. Listen as God speaks to each of us through his heartfelt poems. Feel his personal message to each of us. Let him renew the hope in us with his love. We are not alone. We are not unloved. We may feel lost, but he is there to find us. Let us find the answers together in God's inspired words of love and encouragement to us. Perfect world. I tried to envision a perfect world where everyone would be free, a world without suffering and pain, where all lived in harmony, a world without bitterness, a world without shame, a world without difference, a world without blame. Never having to say you're sorry for you never did any wrong. A world filled with laughter, a world filled with song. Could there ever be such a place? Yes, for it is in God's plan. We would all be there now, if not for the fall of man. So people, don't get discouraged. Remember to think before you do. Until we get to our perfect world, this one will have to do. I need your help today, Lord. I need your help today, Lord, for it seems I can't go on. Everything in my life today appears to be all wrong. The beauty that you created for me, my eyes are failing to see. There is disease throughout my body, Lord, that is slowly killing me. My smile seldom appears now, overtaken by grief and pain. My spirit is slowly being broken. Lord, please touch my heart again. May my focus always be on you, Lord, so my problems seem far away. Thank you for this time, Lord. Yes, I need your help today. God's wounded. With bones that are frail and muscles that are weak, God's wounded look for answers and comfort they seek. With movement that is limited and not many places to go, God's wounded days seem longer, filled with boredom, you know. With eyesight that's failing and hearing that's lost, God's wounded look for something which is found at the cross. For life still has meaning and still precious, you see. For God's wounded now need help. They need you and me. Someday you might be wounded and looking above. Now, one of God's wounded you'll also be, looking for love. Gifts. Every breath I take, every sunrise I see, each sound I hear are gifts from thee. Everything I touch, every step I take, more gifts from me that my Lord did make. A forgiving heart, a caring way, a truthful nature, yes, more gifts each day. Every smile I make, every laugh and fun, every hand I shake, every friend I've won. Food to eat and water to drink, all gifts from you, Lord, which makes me think. The reason for all these gifts is now so plain to see, because the greatest gift of all is just your love for me. I try. I try not to cry when I feel sad. I try not to get angry when I am mad. I try not to show pain when I'm at my worst. I try to hide my emotions whenever I am hurt. But now and then the tears do come, my anger when there I know hurts someone. The pain in my body is sometimes so strong, I feel in this world I just don't belong. So what can I do to make each day the best? Is focus on Jesus when I face each of these tests. I can think of how he suffered for me so long ago on a hill called Calvary. You were on my mind today. You were on my mind today for reasons I am not aware. So I stopped and asked the Lord to be with you and to give you his special care. I asked him to tend to all your needs and give you strength if you feel weak. I asked him to listen closely to your heart for all the answers that you may seek. I mentioned how special a friend you are, then realized that he already knew. For when he looks into my heart, he sees a place marked just for you. So I know my prayer will be answered as I give thanks to our Savior above, and I know you will be blessed today, all because of his unselfish love. I love you, he said. I love you, he said, as the first nail went in. I do this for you because of your sin. The shame that I bear, I do this for you. He said this as the mallet hit nail number 2. The reason I came was so all would be free. I love you, he said, as they hit nail 3. He hung there for hours, then bowed his head. My Father, why have you forsaken me? I love you, he said. It was never about this life. It was never about this life. Never was, never will be. For it is not about you, and it is not about me. This short life of ours has meaning very true. It is all about love, his love for me and you. For we needed time to learn. He knew we just wouldn't understand. By faith we must believe that there is a promised land. A land called grace, a land filled with love, a home he created for us where Christ waits above. A home where there is no sin, no guilt, no shame. A home where we all live as one and love is our last name. So each day you are on this earth, think how blessed you have been, for you have one more day to learn it's all about him. When words just aren't good enough. When words just aren't good enough to get you through your day, I prayed to the Lord up above to please show me another way. I asked him, what could I do to help take the darkness out? He answered, my child, that is my job, as long as there is no doubt. He said to this heart of mine, to family and friends always be true. Comfort and healing come from me. The friendship comes from you. Always try to be understanding as your day comes to an end, that just lifting them up to me is the best part of being a friend. So I hope knowing all this helps when these days seem so long and tough, because sometimes you will need something when words just aren't good enough. I'm talking to you. Why are you so down? What can it be? I raised my eyes above and asked, God, are you talking to me? He said, everything that is and all you see was made just for you, and it all comes from me. The blood I shed, the tears I cry, are all for you, and still you doubt? Why? All I ask, since you don't seem to see, is that someday you will choose to believe in me. My word was left so you would know I am always here and love you so. So don't be so down, and to my name always be true. Yes, my child, I'm talking to you. I want to be like him. I walked into a room today and made someone smile. This person looked up at me and said, please stay for a while. She told me it had been so long since anyone seemed to care, and how grateful they were that I took my time to share. Yes, it seems everyone is so busy, even family and friends of mine, too busy thinking of themselves, pretending there is no time. This person asked me why I do it, and to his mission I stay so true. I said, because I want to be like him. Isn't this what Jesus would do? May this day, may this day be about you, Lord. May my thoughts be of you. May each action that I take, Lord, be just like you would do. May I strive to be less selfish. May my words just come from you. May my life be a living sacrifice in all that I do. May each person that I meet, may I plant a tiny seed. May it nurture in their heart, Lord, and bring them closer to you indeed. May they understand as I do. May their hearts be filled with love. May this day be about you, Lord, as we give praise to our Savior above. The heart. The heart is very interesting. Its job is so immense. For it to fail is not an option through days that are intense. It also holds emotions, those good and also that are bad. It has to work so much harder on days we feel very mad. Of all the places in us that God chose from above, He chose the heart for His Spirit to live and work through Christ's precious love. So when you're feeling troubled, in your heart His Spirit seek, and listen very carefully to the word that He does speak. But if we do not listen from the heart what the Spirit has to say, we find the heart gets very exhausted just to make it through the day. The warrior. The battle was ongoing, it never seemed to end, but the warrior stood firm, always fighting and never giving in. One enemy after another, each one trying to bring defeat, but the warrior never quit, knowing victory would be complete. Each separate battle that was fought brought hurting of its own. Each enemy soldier seemed determined as the warrior stood alone. When will this battle be over? How long must the warrior fight? When is enough really enough? Is the end of the battle really in sight? For the answer to these questions, the warrior must look above. See, the battle was already won. Jesus proved this through His love. Our earthly battles will always be. John 16:33 said it so. Yes, the final battle the Christian warriors win. It was won over 2,000 years ago. So keep fighting, Christian soldiers. The victory will be done, not on earth but in heaven, when Jesus smiles and says, "Warrior, well done." Please let me use. Please let me use your heart, the one that you gave to me, so all my wounded children can feel the love that they desperately need. Please let me use your eyes, so from my word you can read, teach them what was written, and just how important it is to me. Please let me use your hands, to reach out and touch for me, to hold my children ever so close, for that's so important for them, you see. Please, let me use your time before it all runs out. Please, let me use your being, for that's what it is all about. The morning of September 12th. It was the morning of September 12th. Something was very different indeed. A piece of every American was missing, and we no longer felt free. The churches became full again. Many cried out to God. Many probably blamed Him because they were so mad. How could God let this happen? Probably so many did ask, but His children knew the answer. It was man's choice, like all the rest. Now also in that morning, if you listen to heaven above, 3,000 plus souls were returning home and once again surrounded by His love. So to all of us that were left behind, our job is still so great. We must tell everyone about God before it is too late. Touch someone for me. As I awoke this morning from sleep and my eyes opened to see, the Lord spoke to my heart and said, "Touch someone for me." He said, Tell someone that I love them, and if you follow my commandments, you will too. Please touch someone for me today before the day is through. So as I started on my way, I saw someone that was in need. I said, "Is there something I can do for you? What is it? Please tell me. What can it be?" The person looked me in the eyes and said, "Why do anything for me?" I smiled and said, "Because I was in need one day, and thank God someone took their time, you see." See, God spoke to my heart today and brought me here just for you. Because of his love for all of us, he knew just what you needed too. So listen ever so carefully, my friends, when God tells you what to do, for when he says, "Touch someone for me," it's about him and not about you. Planting seeds. I am his little gardener, whom God chose me to be. He said, "Little gardener of mine, go plant these love seeds for me." I said, "Lord, where do I plant these seeds of your love?" God said, "Just listen to your heart as I speak to you from above. Do not be surprised if rejected now and then. These seeds are the beginning that will spiritually nourish them to the end." So I reached deep into my heart and grabbed one of his special love seeds. From my mouth they were planted as I said, "This is from God's love, and also they are from me." I am someone special. I am someone special for all the world to see, but when you look upon my face, you are not really seeing me. The face that you are seeing is the person I want to be. I want to be like Jesus, for my Lord and Savior is He. So when you look into my eyes, may they reflect His love indeed. May my mouth speak His words of love that have set so many free. May my ears be always listening for those worse off than me. May my hands reach out as Jesus would to help all those in need. May each person that I meet as I travel on my way tell someone in their lives, "I think I just saw Jesus today." New through Christ. Ever since the day I was born, my life was not my own. It had a purpose to fulfill until He calls me home. But what is always most troubling as each day I strive to live is understanding it is not about me, but to all the others that I must give. It is not about my accomplishments, but instead what Christ has done for me. I am no longer of myself because Jesus set me free. He freed me from this worldly sin which is upon us day and night. As His sinless body hung nailed to the cross, that made me special in the Father's sight. My days are all for Him now. My burdens are oh so few. I am this righteous child of God. Through Christ, I am brand new. God's gift. Think of all the wonderful gifts that you have already received. How can any one of them compare to God's gift once you first believed? It will never be outdated, nor decay as the years pass by. The gifts of salvation is for you and me, just because of God's love. We didn't even have to try. A gift to last forever, just because we are His, a gift that was paid in full. Oh, what a special gift it is. So remember to say thank you every morning, noon, and night. The only person to give a gift like this is Jesus, because He definitely has the right. Grab hold. I started to fall and didn't know why. I needed help and started to cry. I looked around for someone to see. I started to yell, "Please, someone help me." I looked to my left and then to my right. My worst fear was known. There was no one in sight. No one to my back or to my front. I couldn't walk and I couldn't run. I cried out to the Lord, "Where are you to behold?" He said, "Look up, my child, and just grab hold." Modern-day disciple. I am a modern-day disciple, for Jesus has chosen me. Ever since my very first breath, He has been waiting patiently, you see. Jesus said, "Do you really love me? Would you give me everything you love? Can you leave it all behind because I asked you to? Giving praise to the Father above? Can you love your fellow man more than he does of you? Are you willing to lose it all just because I asked you to?" I said, "Lord, you know my heart. With you I long to be. Thank you for always asking, modern day disciple, come and follow me." Whispers of love. God whispered in my ear today, and the sweetest sound it was. He said, "I love you, child of mine," as the angels sang above. Sweet words of love, oh so true, that just melted in my heart. He whispered, "I am always here for you were special from the start." Then he whispered, "I have whatever you need, for with my love you never will lack. All I ever wanted, my child, is that you love me back." I felt a warm feeling as his whispers warmed my soul. I said, "Lord, you are my life now because I love you so." Being humble. I am a humbled person. When my eyes are on someone but not me, I am humbled in the presence of someone longing to be free. I am so very humble when I see the hurting and the loss. I am also humble in the presence of Jesus and the cross. See, the reason this makes me humble is because God opened my eyes to see. If not for his love and grace, there never would be a me. It is nothing I ever did or could ever hope to do. It is because he looked down from above and said, "I love you." This has been From God's Heart to Mine to Yours by E.P. Shachat, narrated by Jamal West and published by Westbow Press.